right, let me get myself situated. How are we doing today? You know what I would love to start out with? I want you to think about yesterday and how are you a different person today than you were 24 hours ago? What new thoughts are coming? What new ideas? What new, I don't know, possibilities are you beginning to see? I would love to know. All right, so today, good. Evelyn says more confident. Yes, sister, that's it. And you know how we do that? We lean into our Christ identity. Love it. Well, today, and I want to see more of those popping in, but today we're talking about how to spiritually build your $1 million business. And I will tell you that the buzz following yesterday's session on $1 million faith is palpable. And I'm looking here. Andrea says, I feel rooted in the vision. Ruthie, more confident and excited. Evelyn, I also love what you're wearing. Oh, thank you. I feel put together today. So that's always nice. I want to congratulate Kim and Carolyn and Charlotte and Ruthie and Susan. And if I missed anybody, please forgive me. A lot's going on here at home with the business and with all of you guys. I will be getting caught up just as soon as I can today. But I would love to take just a few minutes and I want to open up the mic and I would ask one or two of you to share your biggest takeaway. And I want these to be short but potent. So, do I have any volunteers? Raise your little hand because I think this is always fun, especially for those that may or just be joining this and missed yesterday. They want to get some sort of insight. So who wants to go first? You have to call somebody. Andrea, may I impose upon you, please?
Sure. What was that my takeaway from
Yeah, like a
yesterday?
big takeaway, an raha or breakthrough that you experienced on yesterday's.
Yeah, I feel like the belief gap is still a big takeaway for me, and really, really just praying the Lord to bridge the gap for me. And I'm praying today will help.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, that belief gap, we all have it. And being aware of it is the first step to doing something about it. So that's excellent. All right. Can I have one other volunteer? Okay. I'm going to call on two people. Okay. Bonnie and then Kaylee. So, Kaylee, you can get ready. But, Bonnie, you go first.
All right. So just I don't know, just being able to step into the certainty of this is what I'm meant for. And it's you know, of course I'm gonna win in business. I mean, of course the sun is gonna come up tomorrow. Of course I'm gonna win in business. Just saying it with the same kind of certainty and the same kind of energy. And just having that it's not this, oh, I hope so, but it's a, oh, yeah, this is what's natural.
Yeah.
And just a matter of letting my circumstances catch up with who I'm becoming.
Yes, that's it. That's it. I really want to land there. The world, the natural, hasn't caught up with who I am in the supernatural yet. But I'm not going to let these circumstances hold me back from stepping in fully to who I really am. Excellent. Actually, Kaylee and then Ruthie, and then we're got to jump in if you wouldn't mind. All right, Kaylee, what you got?
Um, Something you said yesterday has just really stuck with me, that my current beliefs got me to this level of success. So to level up, I have to believe bigger. And I know I've been holding back in that. I don't know what I've been waiting for, whether it's, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I know that I've been holding back. And I've definitely not been showing up 100% as myself, for fear of, potentially losing business partners or something along those lines. But I just really have to believe that they are working with me because I am good at what I do and I do offer exceptional services, and me being me is just going to enhance that.
Yes, 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 yes. And I would say for each of us, if we ever need a confidence boost, what we need to do is reach out to a client and say, tell me something good. about them, because that's a reflection on you. Or maybe you could say, I'm just curious, when you think of me, what words come to mind or something like that. That's always a really great confidence booster. All right, thank you for that. And last but not least, Ruthie, a quickie breakthrough aha in the last 24 hours.
I am the ultimate authority.
I love it. Talk about succinct, baby. I loved your video yesterday when you're like, I made oodles of money. And you're so young, and yet you're like, I've been in real estate for 20 years. My mouth was like on the floor. I'm like, how did I work with Ruthie and not know that? But that's amazing. Excellent. Very
This
good.
October's 20 years, and I mean, my cattle herd is up to 700 mother cows.
Insane.
So,
Insane. Ladies, thank you, Ruthie. Ruthie is a real estate broker who pretty much owns that whole neck of the woods where she grew up for generations. And she's a rancher. So I don't even know how she does it all, but only by God's grace. So that's so good. All right. Before we dive in, I have a couple of admin announcements. Okay. First, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, what in the heck are you doing? You need to get in there, not only to post your homework, okay, to get feedback from me and some other things, but I'm putting all of this juice in in this week's event inside guide 4. So if you're ever like, I don't know how to find anything, I went old school on this one. I literally just had this idea last week, so I didn't have time, my team didn't have time to create a really fancy schmancy replay page. So guide 4 will have all your resources, and you're going to want to go there because I put some declarations regarding money mindset there. So if you're like, what, go check it out. And also those links that I neglected to put in the replay email around money mindset trainings that I've already done. I encourage you to go back to that as well. Make sure that if you really want to up level, whether it's to the 7-figure mark or to the 6-figure mark or somewhere in between, this is where you're going to create the habits to get you there. So one of those habits is not only showing up here live or watching the replay, but doing the homework, even if you don't know if you're doing it right, or even if you don't have time to do it all. You will go lay your head on the pillow and feel so, so good. All right. I alluded to this yesterday, but I decided I'm definitely doing a bonus Q&A on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. My team just created an event, so you're all going to get invited to that later on in the week. But all the questions you're posting here in the chat, so keep them coming. The things you post over in the Facebook group, I'm going to address them all. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. 10 a.m. Central, same Zoom link. Now, one last thing. If you are not already a client, but you already know, I wonder what it's like to work with Jude. Like, you think I could be the one that you've been searching for and praying for to get your business to that next level, whether it's from 100 to 210, whether it's from 330 to 678,000, whether it's from 250 to 450,000, and those are all real live results. 12 months working with me from some of my private clients. I want to invite you to apply for a scaling strategy call with me. It's complimentary. It's a hands-on, super practical strategy session where we're going to review your current business model, your offer suite, your goals, your team, all of it. We're going to identify your opportunities for leverage and scale. And on that call, we're going to map out your 90-day plan of priorities and action steps to scale your sales and reclaim your time. So I'm going to pop this link here so that you all have it. So if you are not yet a client and you're like, I wonder what it would be like, grab that link. Okay, my calendar does fill up quickly, especially during these live events, and you must qualify in order to get on the call, but fill that out. All right, with that behind us, let's go to the Lord and we're going to dive in. Lord, I just praise you that we get to do what we do. You know me, God. There was a time when I would be nervous coming to these things, and I still have a little bit of a, butterfly belly because I want to make you proud of me, Abba. But, for the most part, I just love this. I just love coming to these things because I want to pour out the divine wisdom that I've been blessed to receive from you, God. So just be all over this time together. Be all over the time when in the future someone's going to watch this again or someone freshly on the replays, God. We need to hear from you. You've got all the answers. So Lord, again, quicken our hearts, minds, and ears as I speak. And I want you to speak through me, God. That is my most fervent prayer. Thank you, Lord, for how you are going to do that. We pray these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen and amen. Okay. This intensive is called the Christian CEO Millionaire. And so my question for you is this. Why did you register for this? Christian CEO Millionaire. What are you hoping to get out of it? What are you hoping to walk away with? I want to see that in the chat. Okay. You're like, what? What do I hope to get away with it? Tell me, because, wait, what does this say? A Judy boost to scale my business. Okay, excellent, excellent. All right. But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that you were drawn to the millionaire concept? And yet, I know for many of you, there seems to be that disconnect. And Andrea was vulnerable enough to admit it for many, if not all of us, there is a gap in belief. We're human beings, right? So the point of yesterday is to identify that gap and that disconnect, right? Identify that belief gap, because we want to identify, and if nothing else happens this week, that you get clarity on why you feel out of alignment when you think about owning and running $1 million business. Okay. Evelyn says, at first I was scared of the millionaire idea. Yeah. It's like, what? Of course. So I love that. Keep these comments coming, because I'm printing out these and it's all going to come together on Saturday on that bonus Q&A, because this work is where we start. Those gaps shine a spotlight on the lies of the enemy that you've been believing, and they have to be identified. They have to be worked on, ultimately yanked out, so that whatever strategy you implement works, because you're an expert who helps clients get results, valuable results. I want you to think about this. Think about the transformation you help your clients get. Truly life or business changing results. And again, someone, and I don't mean to pick on Kaylee or whatever, but she's just first thing on my thing here, and I first here on my screen, and I'm thinking about like I know Kaylee doesn't think this, but somebody in her spot might say, well, what do you mean? I just process loans. No, your work is vital to get your clients into the home of their dreams. Like, everything here is transformational. So because of that, shouldn't you be compensated comparably? Like, high value given, high value received? They don't even make sense, right? If anyone disagrees with anything I've said so far, be honest and tell me in the chat. You have a valuable transformational service you provide, and it makes sense that you get paid, what's the word? Concomitantly. Is that the word? Commensurately, whatever, right? So really it comes to the idea of, do you really know your services are valuable? So I want you to chew on that. I'm going to bring another dimension to this. In this world here on earth, isn't it true we need money to live? We got to buy food. We got to pay the mortgage or the rent, right? We got to buy clothes. We don't want to walk around naked. Heaven's gracious, right? And pastors don't work for free. So why should you? And so warning, Judy's going to do a Judy thing. Okay, I got to tell you something. And I pray that what I'm about to say is in alignment with the Lord. I sat with this for a bit. If any Christian comes against you, shaming you or criticizing you for charging for your services, or saying it's too much, or God forbid, suggesting that you should just do it for free because you're a Christian, in that moment, with that sentiment, in my opinion, she's an instrument of the enemy. That's it. Why do I say that? Because in that moment, that person is literally chastising you for walking in obedience to God's call on your life. So that person is literally condemning you for moving forward into fulfilling what God has called you to do. To me, that's a spirit of confusion and shame and fear. So to me, that's of the enemy. Now, if what I've just said is too much, then I'll back it down and say this: at the very least, you must be discerning enough and unwavering in your faith enough to reject that shaming or criticism. And by the way, there's no need for you to explain yourself and say, defend yourself. Well, here's why I should charge and whatever. There's no need to get in an argument, right? And there's absolutely no need for you to rethink, oh golly, did God really call me to this? Right? And for me, if I dignified that ridiculosity, that evil with anything, it would be this. I would smile and I would say, I'm curious, where does the money that pays your bills come from? Does someone in your family work and get paid? And of course, they'd say yes. And then I would smile, pause, and say, exactly. Okay. All right. Let me get back to my chat. Something happened with my chat. Something weird happened to my chat. Please don't send me private messages because then that messes up my chat. I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, main chat. There we go. Okay, cool. I don't want to miss anything as it comes through. It's going fast, but I want to see it. Okay. So there's that. All right. So in my quiet time this morning, I discovered something that absolutely blew my mind from the book of Genesis that provides scriptural support for the criticality. How's that word? The criticality of your buy-in, your actual belief in the inevitable success of your business, right? So that you can experience that success. So I want to take you to Genesis 1. And after God created the earth and things on the earth, verse 26 says, and then God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And in reading this, I thought, oh, that's when God was made. That's when man was made. But then we look at Genesis 2, starting at verse 5, and it says, now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, no plant had yet sprung up. And then verse 7, then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And he became a living being. So what does this tell us? Okay, I may be all wet, but I'm going to share what I got to this morning. And it is this. Man was designed first in the mind of God. Like he said, this is what it shall be. Like, right? Man was designed in seed form in the spirit before he became visible. And it was in Genesis 2:7 that God actually formed man and breathed life into his lungs. So what I got out of this is man was already designed by God in the spirit. That came first. And then with that clear picture, that design completed, man was ultimately visible, came into being. So here's the takeaway. Consider this. Your business results have to be built first in the invisible realm, meaning in your mind. You've got to see it. You've got to believe it. That's what we've been talking about, right? And we have to see those results, taking God's lead, asking him to reveal to you his vision for your business. And guess what? About that, God's vision, he's infinite, and his vision will undoubtedly be bigger, more expansive, more impactful, more and bigger and greater than anything that you or I could fathom with our finite, simple little brain. We need his divine guidance. But results happen first from what we receive from the Lord, what he's told us, and then those results will, after that, be achieved in the natural. You see what I'm saying? So the truth that I get out of this is everything you have now in your business must be an exact reflection of the design that you already created internally, what you've seen in your mind. Okay, so stay with me here. So many entrepreneurs, they talk a big game. I want $1 million business, or I want a 6-figure business, whatever it is. But then they don't have those big results. Why? Because they didn't yet design that big business that they talk about in their mind. They don't really see it. They don't really believe it. Okay. Does this make sense? Please say got it. Or if you're confused, say I'm lost. Okay. So here's my takeaway. What is designed on the inside, what you see, what you can believe on the inside really shows on the outside. And I remember when people talk about visualization, I say, ooh, that sounds woo-woo. That sounds weird. Well, I mean, there it is. There's a biblical example of that. We cannot build what we talk about unless and until we sit with God and see it in our mind's eye first. Okay. Just like somebody who invented, like Steve Jobs, I don't know if he's the one, whoever invented the iPhone, somebody had to see it in their mind before it actually came to be. Same thing with your business. So when we're talking about $1 million impact, like global change, transformation of thousands around the world potentially through your work, that income producing $1 million income only makes sense. We really have to get comfortable with this notion of $1 million business. I firmly believe more and more that's got to be the floor. That's got to be the floor, baby. We're God's kids. Why shouldn't we? We're going to do great things with the money. Okay. All right. Now, today we're talking about $1 million offer suite. So I have a couple of questions. So open up your chat. How many offers? Tell me a number. How many offers does it take to reach 7 figures? How many offers do you think are in this 7-figure $1 million offer suite? Give me a number if you would. One. Could be one. Okay. 7. That's so interesting. 7. 1 or 2. Okay. Love it. 10, 3. Okay. Love it. Okay. Can I tell you the answer? There is no one way to get there. 7-figure businesses have been built with 1 offer, 2 offers, some with 5 offers, some even more. Interesting, isn't it? So when I tell you that you can achieve $1 million in annual revenue with 1 offer or a dozen, does that reality, the fact that you have freedom to decide how you're going to get there, do you find that freedom, because you get to decide, do you find that freedom refreshing or irritating? Tell me, does that freedom, like, whoa, great, does that lift the burden, or does it make you feel more like, tell me the how, help me understand? Okay, Terry says refreshing. It lifts the burden. Good, lifted. Yay. Okay, goody, goody, goody. Okay, I want you to be real with yourself, because sometimes freedom is like, yeah, but, I don't like my yeah, buts. That's the enemy. But that could come up. Yeah, but, which is working best now? Which is, So anyway, let's talk for a second about that, because I believe that for many, freedom can feel daunting. As in, what's right? What's the industry standard? And so what I need you to know is that this current marketplace is ripe for originality. Cookie cutter is over. The standard way of doing things is so yesterday. Okay. Think about it. By now, especially going through COVID, when all we did was kind of hang out on our equipment here, people have seen it all, haven't you? People are bored. They're in content overload. And yet everything sounds the same, right? That's why you need to stand out. People are bombarded with content from all the different platforms, and the empowered buyers are looking for something different. They are looking for you to spark their curiosity, something to truly intrigue them and draw them in. As in, like, wait, what did she say? That's disruptive content that we alluded to yesterday, and we're going to get into that more tomorrow. But $1 million companies and aspiring $1 million companies are the ones who are right now doing the power thinking and doing the work to identify with specificity what makes me different, what makes me better, without a shadow of a doubt, for my people. And the best of the best are taking all of that one step further, because better or even best isn't the actual goal, because the ultimate differentiator is something I alluded to yesterday, that is a category of 1, where you don't even, if you're a realtor, I see at least one realtor here, you'd be like, well, I'm one of thousands of realtors in my area. No, that's not a helpful thought. I would encourage you to say, no, nobody else does real estate like me, because this is my thing. This is my specialty. This is my category of 1 that I've defined, that I've carved out, right? So category of 1, defining what you do so uniquely that you are literally redefining your entire industry. If in real estate, in your little corner of the world, right? Redefining how things are done, turning the usual on its head. And we know the stereotypical examples of this. Airbnb. Someone thought hotels aren't best when traveling. The room feels boxy. It feels very impersonal. I wonder, what if I could stay in a place that feels like home? Ta-da, Airbnb is born. Netflix. Convenience is a big thing, ladies. Convenience. Is there a way you can make your services more convenient? Okay. So Netflix, they're thinking, well, wait a minute, it's awfully inconvenient, especially when it's raining or snowing, for people to get in their car to go rent a video. What if people could rent a video from the convenience of their own home? Ta-da, right? How about Uber? Boy, taxis are dirty, they're unreliable, and gosh, if you've ever driven in NYC, it feels like you're literally taking your life in your hands. It's unsafe. I kind of think it's fun. But anyway, what if there was a way, Uber thought, to hail a cab straight from your phone instead of standing in the rain, right? And the car was clean, it smelled good, and it was a great experience. So today, I would encourage you to take some time to think about your industry, brain dump how things are done now as a standard. And then with that, think about, what really is not optimal What is inconvenient? What's sloppy? What's not ideal rather? What's not ideal? Like, what suggestions or things have you heard maybe from your clients that they're like, I hate this, or I wish this were better? Okay. I want you to really think about that. I've been thinking about that for a long time about coaching because it's just so, it's just so, right? But going back to identity, there's this vital aspect of vision casting, seeing in your mind's eye a picture of the long-term vision God shows for you and your business. And so on this idea of saying, golly, Judy, that feels overwhelming for me to even imagine that I'm going to redefine my industry. Like, that's a lot. But again, plug into who you are. You are unique. You are a thought leader. You are a trailblazer meant to lead in uncharted territory. You are a leader. So take steps of faith in obedience to the Lord and just demonstrate your belief that God's going to show you something. Okay. I always say the Jeremiah 33:3 prayer. Lord, tell me something great and unsearchable today that I did not know yesterday. Okay. That's so huge. All right. Somebody in here. Any questions? Pop it in the chat. Okay. Will that identity of the trailblazer, the pioneer, might that feel too much for you right now? Does it feel beyond you? Like, Jude, no, it's too much. It's incomprehensible. It's hard to imagine. Um, that's great. Evelyn says, no, that's great. But for anybody that is in that point, um, that's okay. It can feel overwhelming, but you can relieve that pressure again when you realize you can't do it alone. Like Moses, the call that God has made on your life is a big calling, and it's utterly unattainable in your own strength, right? But for God, it's easy peasy. You see? So I just want to encourage you to go to that Facebook group. And last night I saw a post from Carolyn Wiley come through, and others were awesome too, but that just stood out for me. It was right before I went to bed. And she shared insights into her category of one that absolutely blew me away. I encourage you to find that post, search Carolyn, you should find it, read it for yourself. It's absolute genius. There's the words that she used had a palpable power behind them. I felt the energy hopping off that screen. And then I said, this is genius. And she said, yeah, I had a conversation with God, and I'm like, of course. So go to him today and share your heart, share your thoughts, and ask him for his wisdom, his plan, his vision, and this category of one. How can you really redefine your industry to be not only a name only category of one, but as a practical matter, you're like changing the game. Okay. All right. So how many offers? It could be one or an infinite number almost. Okay. Next question. Come back to me here. What type of offers do you think need to be included in a 7-figure business? Is it one-to-one? Is it done for you? Is it done with you? Groups, retreats, VIP days? How about courses and memberships? What type are best? Tell me what you think. For time purposes, yes, Vivian got it. Varies. Yeah. All, whatever you want. Yeah. The choice is yours. They all work. It depends on the business model that you choose. Okay. There is no one magic formula. All offers are selling when you nail 2 fundamental things. Write this down. All offers are selling when you nail, number 1, category of one positioning, meaning you stand out as the one with disruptive, take notice content, which reflects your category of one brand. Okay, so category of one is huge, especially rest of 2025 into the rest of till we get to 2030. You've got to stand out. So category of one positioning. And then the second fundamental thing you need is messaging, which are the words you use to communicate your brand, your work, your best client, and the results that your best clients achieve. So we're going to be diving into that tomorrow. Okay. So next question for you around your 7-figure offer suite. What price point? What price point for your offers? Should each offer be a higher ticket? Or should there be some lower ticket offers in your offer suite? Tell me in the chat. What do you think? High, low, mix of all? Okay, both. Yeah. What do you think? I will tell you that my answer to this one is different than it was even 1 year ago. And that doesn't mean I was wrong then. What it means is that my recommendations now simply reflect astute strategic thinking as I look at this current marketplace in July of 2025. So here's my recommendation in a very broad overview. And this is for, again, the 6 or multi 6-figure business looking to get to 7 figures. Okay. So the first price point that you need is one or more, potentially, depending on the company, one higher ticket offer. That's 3 to 12K, or maybe 3 to 15K. One of them. Then you will need one high ticket offer. That's like 15K and more, like 15, 20, 30, 50, even $100,000 offer. And so you have the higher ticket, 3 to 12, a high ticket, 15 and more. And then I highly do recommend this. And this is what I would never have said a year ago, but a couple of authority building offers. I call it authority building offers, and we'll get into exactly what that is. I'm going to dive into each of these a little bit more, AKA low ticket offer. I don't like to call it low ticket offer because low ticket intimates low value, and that ain't what we're talking about here. So let me explain and take each one at a time. And also I'm looking at realtors and say, I wonder how this could apply to me. I don't know, but let's talk about it. Okay. So first I said you need one higher ticket offer. Maybe more than one, but focus on one. This is your meat and potatoes offer, or what I call your scalable offer. And this one offer between 3 and 12 grand could get you to 7 figures alone. Really, Jude? How? The key here is that it's scalable, meaning your time in client delivery is leveraged, meaning you can bring on more clients without requiring more of your time. And so one-on-one private clients is a great business model. You may love it, but at some point it's no longer scalable because you're taking clients one at a time. Each client requires your time. And so your income and the number of clients that you can have, it's capped by your waking hours or your working hours. Okay. I'm about to blow your mind here, so get ready. Another non-scalable higher ticket offer could be VIP days. Why? Because again, it's one-on-one. But, I'm going to turn this around and say the VIP day could become your second offer in your $1 million offer suite when you price it at 20, 25, 50, 100K. Okay, so let me back up here. VIP days are typically not scalable, right? Because it's one-on-one. But you could create a super high level VIP day package that again costs 50 grand, 100 grand. And or you could structure it so that they pay something up front, and which is significant, like 20, 25, 30,000, whatever you want. And then you take a rev share, a revenue share on top of that. Because one of my coaches has a 100K offer, and she charges a nice tidy sum up front, and she takes 25% of revenue from a 6-month period. Okay. Now think about it. A VIP day package like that, even though it's technically one-to-one, that is definitely scalable because of the high price, and especially if there's a revenue share component. Does that make sense? Are you following me? Tell me in the chat, please. So this is what Terry doesn't follow me. Okay. So even though it's one-to-one, let's say you have for the year, you have 20 clients, but every client overall, when you look at the VIP day package, the way you structure the compensation, that you would get anywhere from 100 grand to 250 grand per client. At that level, and I can talk more in specifics, maybe I'll address this in the Q&A. So imagine if you had, I can't do the math, let's say you had 10 clients and each one was $100,000, right? There's your million. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, it's about how you structure the compensation. But this is exactly what I mean about freedom. I want you to release what feels reasonable or done before. I want you to imagine when you're thinking about your offers, I want you to imagine there are no limits. You can create whatever you want. And even again, looking at Kaylee, and I know there's a lot in the loan processing world, there may be some flex, but they're not going to pay you $50,000 to process one loan. But that's where we get creative. Are there other skills that I have, other ways that I could serve? You know, maybe you could, and I'm just throwing this out there, I don't even think, but this comes to mind. Maybe you could, if you want to, create some sort of course that you would become very connected, and everybody that does loan processing, like you would be the go-to school for them to learn how to do that at a very profitable way. I'm just saying. So don't ever say to me, Judy, that doesn't work for me, because I will say, it's only because we haven't thought about it. And so we, as $1,000,000 faith-fueled CEOs, may we never say, that doesn't work for me, and we dismiss it. No, 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 no. We ask the high quality, high result question of, how might that work for me in my skill set? Okay, isn't this so super fun? So I want you to dream. That's going to be part of your homework. I want you to dream, like, what could be so super transformational for your best client that they would be willing to pay a premium for it at that level. Okay. And then that brings us to our final type of offer in our $1,000,000 offer suite, authority building offers. What some, I don't like it, but they call it low ticket offers. So what I'm talking about when I say authority building offers is they're offers that not only position you as that in-demand go-to authority, right? You're not only positioned when they see it, but once inside, it solidifies you as such. In the heart and the mind of the client who went through that offer, they're like, I thought I liked her, and now I went through this, and she's fire. I love her. Like, that's the point of it, okay? The point and the goal of authority building offers is not primarily a revenue producer, although, yeah, it could give you an extra 6 figures a year, those authority building offers. But when you think about the potential beyond that, of them saying, oh, wow, I'm not just going to pay you $25 or $47 or $297. I'm going to pay you 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. Okay. So the goal of the authority building offer is to serve as an entry point, and hear me on this, for dream clients, an entry point for dream clients, an opportunity for them to experience you and really see what you're made of, to prove whether you are for them. Yeah, so hear me. You don't create authority building offers for those who can't afford your scalable higher ticket offers. Okay. We may have different offer levels, but we're still always talking to the best client. We don't ever want to talk to the looky-loos. We don't ever want to talk to the freebie seekers, the complainers, the ones that just love to talk, but they don't do anything. Okay. We create authority building offers for your dream clients always. What's a dream client, Jude? Those who need you. They're actively looking to solve a solution that you solve, right? And they're happy to pay because they really are serious about getting the results you provide. Does that make sense? So authority building offers, I like to refer to them as micro offers, because they solve a very specific micro problem that your dream client has. So it's very drilled down. It's narrow. It solves exactly one problem, because even that micro problem is a big problem that's top of mind for your dream client. Now, inside my work with my clients, there's such a simple, amazing way to identify 9 or more micro offers, even from what you're doing right now. So if you're like, ooh, how do I even figure that out? I've got you. It's super simple. Okay. I will tell you that my latest authority building offer that's going to be released next week, if all goes well, is called Sell with Certainty. Sell with certainty. Do you think my best client wants to sell with certainty? Yeah. Right. And so the tagline here, the tagline for that authority building offer is master sanctified selling that's fully aligned with your Christ identity as you lead with heart, empathy, and service to scale your revenue. You're like, Judy, that sounds like a lot of words. Well, when you look at it on the page, it looks pretty hot, right? That's why font sizes and different fonts, okay? But sanctified selling, do my people want to master that? Heck yeah. Do they want to sell with heart and empathy and service as they scale? Absolutely, okay? So it's one problem, very specific. It's drilled down. It's scaling your revenue. Sell in a way that actually feels good. Okay. Now, as we wrap up, I went through that pretty fast. So maybe I'll have time for Q&A today. It's great. Again, when we think about the $1 million offer suite, there is no one standard or even optimal office suite. You have freedom based on two things: what lights you up and what you know will best serve your dream clients. It's got to address both. Okay. So you build your $1 million offer suite as you build your entire business structure and team, all of it. How do we do that? What's the starting point, Jude? You go to conversation with your chairman of the board, the Lord God Almighty. And I have to say, and I don't like criticize or condemn somebody, but we're the CEO. God's not the CEO. Anybody that knows corporate structure, it's very important that you get this. You're the CEO. You are the chief executive officer. You're the one that's executing. You're the one that's making decisions. The Lord God Almighty is the chairman of the board. He calls the shots. The chairman of the board of Inc. 500 companies, that chairman of the board has a mouth that people listen to. Okay. So the CEO answers to the board, specifically the chairman of the board. So I want you to think about that. Okay. In your mind, that's the hierarchy. So I want you to go to the chairman of the board every day, have those conversations. Lord, what is your vision? Make it clear. Show me the future. It's your business. Show me what I'm building. And then with that, you build all aspects of your business in alignment with his plan, his vision. Always maintaining, and this is so important, the right priorities. God first, family second, then business. When you do it this way, even from the beginning, which feels like really counterintuitive, but this is the way you do it, build your business around your life, not the other way around. And the only way that's going to happen is when you start with the belief that that is the godly way to build your business, right? And that it's not just going to be a nice hobby when I have those priorities right, but in fact, you're going to build a joyful, impactful, profitable, sustainable business. No hustle, no grind, no overworking, no overthinking, so that you don't get burned out. Okay? All right. So let's talk about today's homework. If you have questions, please pop them in and think about a question, because I'm good until 1 minute before the top of the hour, before my next call. And I would love to talk through anything that you would like to. But for today's action step, you only have one, because I wanted to give you time to sit and pray and power think about this. That is, you're going to put your $1 million offer suite together. Okay. So I want to remind you what each of those pieces are. One, higher ticket offer between 3 and 12 grand. You could have more, but I would say that unless you're already at a $500,000, it's one. One higher ticket offer, 3 to 12K. Next one high ticket offer, like a dream offer for the absolute best client, that you're serving the creme de la creme of even your dream clients, and they are advanced. What could you do for them? And then start to think about one authority building offer. And you may already have one started, but I really want you to twist your brain to think right about it. It is a lead gen, heavy nurture opportunity for your best client to come into your world, fall madly in love, and again, solidify you as the authority. Now, I want to throw out a big caveat here that if you aren't yet at 6 figures, I want you to focus on that one higher ticket offer. And only when you begin to sign clients consistently into that offer do you really need to concern yourself with, all the rest. And so what I want you to do for this $1 million offer suite is I want you to post in the group about the name of it, which should be results oriented. My containers are called Breakthrough, the incubator. We incubate, that's where they're nurtured, and they have breakthrough. Everybody wants breakthrough. So there you go. That's to get to your first 100K year. And then my mastermind is called Miraculous. What? Yeah, because they want to scale miraculously, peacefully, joyfully, right? So I want you to think about your names and results oriented. We need to just really understand at a deep level what our best client wants. So the name, and then that transformation or the result that they really, really want. And I was talking with someone this morning. I just want to think how I want to couch this. Okay. So I was talking to someone this morning, and she is masterful at helping her clients build their business through putting on retreats, in-person retreats. And I loved her framework for running her own retreats. But one thing that I saw lacking was, well, what do business owners want when it comes to investing in their business? You guys tell me, what would a business owner want when it comes to investing in, a coach of some sort? In this case, hey, let us leave social alone. You can build your business very well, thank you, on retreats. What is top of mind for that business owner? What ideas? Steady bread and butter clients. Yes, ma'am. Knowing I will make income fast. Yeah. Understanding, like, what is this thing? Well, it is a lead gen and sales like system. It's not just something that's fun. So it was so fun when she's like, oh my gosh, I don't even talk about that when I pitch it at my event. And I go, that's what you lead with, because that's what they want. Yes, work with me inside the Baba da Ba, I forget what it's called right now, and you will grow your business in community and in person, wherever everybody craves it. But the whole point of it is so that you bring in clients, so that social media is like an extra. You don't have to do that because you're focusing here. So that's what I mean. We have to really understand, what is the result they want. Okay. So name, transformation, price point, and how will it be delivered? Like, is it online? Is it, in person? Is it a one-on-one, or what is it, and how long is it? I'm just curious. Okay. So name, transformation, price point, how delivered, and length. Okay. So that's not it. Because no matter where you are, even if right now you're sitting at, 3K months, 5K months, okay, I want to challenge you to power think about your your high ticket offer, 20K, 50K, even 100K. What would that look like? Because here's the deal. Dream clients can't say yes to an offer you don't have. I just want to throw something out. Could there be an experience that, and it might even be a group offer. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. Could that one of the guys in a group I was in one time, he had this amazing event. Well, I'll talk about something else. There's a woman that had people come to Paris, and it was a whole Parisian experience. That was high ticket. You know what I'm saying? So stretch your brain. And I know Evelyn said, well, I'm not building people's businesses, I'm building nurses. Yeah. Okay. What do they want? You have to determine, what do they want? They probably want peace. They want to be able to handle things that come up. They want to advocate for their patient and for themselves. Okay. So I do have time for a couple of questions, but I want you to post your homework in the Facebook group for my feedback and the feedback of others. And I would love for you to contribute by responding to other people's posts and videos, because that just helps to fuel each other on, as we're commanded to do in scripture, right? Fast action takers are the most successful. So do the work, do it today before your head hits the pillow. You will be so proud of yourself. That's the habit of a 7-figure CEO. And so before I go into questions, I'm going to remind you to join me tomorrow for day 3. And our focus is going to be $1 million messaging. We'll be workshopping in the room tomorrow. We're going to be identifying disruptive, controversial juice of your work. And your homework tomorrow is going to be, whatever juice we create in this room, you're going to put out that hot messaging in the world to call out dream clients immediately, with the idea that you're going to get some people raising their hand because, baby, let's sign some clients this week. So you want to make sure you're here for that. All right. I want to take your questions. If you have a question, can you raise your little hand? How do I do this again? How do I explain it to you? Oh, there's a little raise the hand thing at the bottom. Who has a question? Ruthie, did you have a question?
Yeah, so what you were saying about the offer
Mm-hmm.
being result oriented, um, how do I translate that?
Yeah. Well, one,
Because
go
I
ahead.
I think of like I have a list in a notebook over there that has like 30 different titles for things that I could call stuff that I put out on social media. And I don't do much on social media because I don't really time wise think of it as important. Um, but I don't like for me putting together a program isn't going to help me reach my goal with having my clients.
Right. Okay. So for real estate, one thing that comes to mind, and again, I'll be honest, real estate's a little bit trickier. Okay, but again, thinking that there are no limits, I know that, um, I know that for the right seller, potentially buyer, but I think more seller, they would be willing to pay more than 6% or more
Yeah.
than average. That's one thing. Okay. So then you just have to make that amazing. And then for it even like wacko percentage or some sort of total crazy good package, God bless you, would
Thank you.
be, could you bring in the stager, the this, the that, the designer? I don't know. Like, again, because I know you're going for the luxe person who's coming from the city, but they're looking forward to getting some fresh air in their lungs and they want more land. And so I don't know, but just thinking out of the box, that's where I go, bringing in, collabing with other people and kind of working out the logistics of that. So that may get exciting. Or on the other hand, you might say, oh no, I don't want that. I'll just think about what I can do. But those are some preliminary, avenues to walk down.
Oh yeah, because that's what I was going at. Because I'm going like I really want to get out of the 300 price point anymore because everything is in the 300 price point. And another aha I had um was we're saturated with real estate brokers up here. I mean, I think there's 38 licensed brokers between the two towns.
Yeah,
And I'm still the one everybody calls when their other broker doesn't do it right or they're not getting any. And it's like,
exactly. That's
how
why I
many
was
buyers?
smiling right now. That's why I was smiling right now. Um, and I don't have time to tell you all the whole story, but I've known Ruthie since like 2017. And I remember the first call we had together. It was early on in my first coaching business with my sister when I worked only with real estate people. And like she changed in that call. Like before then, she was thinking that she had to like look at her. I mean, she's a country girl. She likes cowboy hats and boots, right? She's not one of these stiletto heels with a Louis bag and a puppy sticking out of it, right? And so I was the one like, Ruthie, you got to go on you. You got to go all in on you. And your people are going to want you. They're not going to want that fake crap from, the city. And I mean, look at all that's happened since then. So again, now that you've decided, and I love that decision to specialize in the larger land sales and the more, I don't know, I always think compound, I don't know, but like those larger areas and the more luxury market, then let's go. Let's really lean into that and make it so obvious that no matter someone finds you on your website or in Zillow or wherever on social, they're going to see that you don't work with just everybody. You work
Mm-mm.
here. So
Well, and part of it is I got to keep all the people buying all the property that surrounds the ranch to people I like.
yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Ruthie's got to protect her acreage. Yeah, that's good.
I don't want to have to shoot the neighbors because the cows are on their fence or on there.
Great.
So, but that was my question. Sorry, ladies.
So good. I love it, Ruthie. Thank you. All right. I do want to get to Andrea's question because it looks like Susan has that too. That was so good. Okay. So Andrea, I got inspired with the VIP. Can I do this for a month or weeks versus a day? Okay. I'm happy to I want to say a few things, and if you have additional questions, we can get on it. So here's the deal. I used to think VIP day was a day. That's it. And it could be 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever. And maybe there's a little bit of Voxer support or email support for another week or two, and that's it. But But I like to think instead of VIP day, I think of a VIP day package. And so the sky's the limit. So again, that's more along the lines of like this high ticket. Like I'm familiar, Andrea, obviously with what you got going on. And so then it's like, okay, so for those of you that want to go faster, or for those of you that want more personalized support, here's what I have for you. And again, there could be a VIP day package for one-to-one and also for group. It's potentially a small group, intimate, but absolutely. Do you have any follow-up questions on that, hon? 10 to 15K. Cool.
Can I pop in? Can I?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sky's the limit. And one of the things that I know that people say to me all the time is, I wish you were just here with me. And so when you were saying VIP, I'm like, I can be with you. So that's why I'm saying like outside the box would be a good solid 4 weeks of me being with you for that. And so that means travel, right? It means going wherever they are. I'm assuming that's okay because that's the VIP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and that's the thing. Then you've got to run the numbers. How much is it going to cost you to do this, that, and the other, and
Yep.
build it in? So it's just so fun. And see, this is where we're really talking to that higher level person. They've got to have a nice income and they've got to be totally committed, right? But can I suggest that even that person for your highest offer, you're still talking to that person even for your scalable main offer because you're setting the pace. This is the level of expertise you're going to get with me. And so you can plug in up here. And if not, then I have something else. So that's just really important for all of us to think of that, the best client. And don't worry about the naysayers and the freebie seekers and those that ghost us on calls and whatever. We don't talk to them. And the less and less we talk to them, I'm not talking about Andrea, this is for everybody. The less we talk to them, the less likely that's going to be happening. Right? Okay. I think that is it for now. All right. I do have to run tomorrow. Messaging is going to be amazing. We're going to be workshopping in the room. So come with your thinking caps on, come already grounded in Christ, in your identity that there's nothing that you can't do, and expect the unlock. Expect that God's going to drop some amazing words about you, about your clients, about the work that you do. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be sending out a replay with the link. If anybody wants a strategy call, again, non-clients, that's a great opportunity. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Yeah, I have to review your application to make sure you qualify. And then I would love to strategize. One of my favorite things in the world to do. All right. Love you all so much. Make sure you have that Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 Central.